Go, go! Yeah, go on! Come on, baby! At least he knows how to drive his Ferrari.
I'll do. Pretty long time no see. I apologise for not having any content. Lockdown came along and all that. Basically life closed down. Wasn't getting out to any meets, wasn't getting out to anywhere in general. There was just nothing to film, nothing to do for anyone. My Type R, which I no longer have, I blew that up after lockdown. I had a good time doing it as well. Yeah. Cruising down the road somewhere, private. And it was just like, it just seemed to like cut for a second. I thought, oh, another MAF sensor, and then it like worked through it, and I was getting ready to pull over to actually replace the MAF sensor, because I always carried around like a basic service kit and typical parts which just used to fail on me. Through no fault of the car, that's just how I enjoyed driving that car. It's false imprisonment to keep them locked in a garage. You may as well just have a picture on your wall. It did it again, and next minute it went knocking. I managed to drive it for 40 miles knocking before we come to a set of traffic lights, and it just lost its momentum and died down. So I then called recovery and got recovered home. And then I was on a mission. I think I had 5 months from between it blowing and my MOT running out. Then that's when I really wanted a garage. I couldn't find storage anywhere for the right money, and people say, yeah, but you should have kept hold of it because of the value, blah 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 blah. But for what I would have paid in storage for where I could have had storage, basically when I come to sell the car or whatever, I wouldn't have made anything on the car. I would have just got my storage fees back. Time were pushing on and there was still nothing. No one's driveway was available or clear, and it got to the point where it's like, well, it needs to be legally sold and I need to get it off the road. So I made a deal with a lad. I had 5 years of joyous memories, and I swear to you, I smiled and I laughed all the way home while that car was knocking, because the memories with it was just absolutely priceless. You really couldn't put a price on them. To know that I used and abused that car. The memories it gave me, worth every penny. One day I would like to have another classic. Anyway, I'll go more into the Type R again because I do miss it. I cry and have nightmares about it and stuff. After that, I thought I'd try and take the sensible route. I got myself a Range Rover. Always wanted one. I would never have one again. It were an overfinch. It were nice. It were low miles. And hearing that, the scoob's bellowing down the motorway every day. So basically, here I am today in another Impreza. And it's nothing fancy. It's just totally basic UK WRX 2002 model. It's a bug-eye. It was my mate's. He basically made me an offer that I could not refuse. It's in the blood. I'm telling you, I've had these nearly 20 years, and from being a little kid and having max power pictures of Subarus on my wall, and my dream being a 2-door white Impreza Type R, still is my dream car. I figured I've been thrown a second chance, and it's kind of like a second chance where hopefully I can get back to YouTubing, because I had fun when I was doing this, and I'm now in a position where I don't really have anything to do. I'm now a carer for my wife, but we can hopefully grow the channel as long as you enjoy the content and little bits. I'm going to get Eyeball back on board with me, just doing random stuff. You know how we are, street mechanic in it, breaking stuff, fixing it, not having a clue, and just enjoying them and using Subarus what they're built for. I feel this car is my second chance to try and make something of nothing with nothing, but we are going to need your guys' help and support to make it work. We can try and build something up and then maybe reach out to some companies and things and see if we can't get help and support in that respect. but we'll just have to see how it goes. It's just back to old habits. One issue I am having with this car at the minute is when it goes cold, the radiator pipe on the top from the radiator, that squishes in. So I have got a new cap, because I do believe that's the suspect, and it's just a STI radiator cap. Higher pressure, could call it its first upgrade. So yeah, this is what I mean with the squish, and when we do release the radiator cap, there. So we've got this STI high pressure cap here. I do have to drop my little girl off at my auntie's later, so I can take her up in the car, and then at least we can come back, I can get it warmed up and then let it cool down again, just to see if this in fact was the culprit. Right, hopefully that has solved that. Now, about 10,000 miles ago this was rebuilt. I didn't have it rebuilt, my mate did. He blew it up after 3 days of ownership. Massive respect to him. It's been built. He had a brand new EJ207 short block installed, so it is semi-closed and forged. It does have the stock WRX head still on there and the inlet manifold. Now I am going to get an STI one of these with the TGV delete. That'll just unrestrict some more power. Hi new. I don't know what this little turbo is, but it's cute, it's tiny. It's got a HKS induction kit on there. The bob was sticking, the dump valve, however I cured that. I was getting a lot of back pressure in the turbo when you were booting it, and I believe it was this sticking. So I soaked that in WD-40 and now it opens and boosts. More Samco hosing down there. Another thing I don't like, the original airflow. Over the last few days when it's been proper toasty hot, it's just been getting extremely hot under here. My Type R, the fans never needed to kick in on that. Even when I was booting it, it just kept that cool. I've noticed under here there's loads of under tray crap and all that plastic stuff, so I'll be ripping all that off because I don't need it. This fire retardant thing under the bonnet, rip all that out. Aircon delete, I'm going to do that. Remove the fog lamps. Does have the ProDrive Wrx in there, but I'm going to pull the fog lamps out and run a cold air feed. Standard wheels at the minute. Does have a fake caliper on this side, it's all stock at the other. My friend had all the welding done under the turrets as well this year, so the car's solid. Jap speed exhaust system. It is decat on the downpipe, and there is still a catting up there. That'll be going. Now, there's aerials on the rear quarters on both sides, don't know why, and one on the roof. Some of us believe it to be an ex-police car. That does nothing, was there for something once upon a time. Same with that switch. Probably some flame popping tool or something. Does have a turbo timer under there. I've just got that shut off, never use it. There is oil pressure and temperature. Never heard of them gauges. Probably going to get new ones. Boost gauge up there. This switch, back to the aerials. If you flick it down, aerials come up. Flick it back, and down they go. All seems a bit police car-ish to me, but does have a full service history. What I do like about this particular Scoob is it is basic. I like basic. Now, I can't do with all the trickery and tech wizardry and all that crap. I had that in the Range Rover and it was nothing but a headache. I didn't even use any of it. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, all that. I don't get it. But I'm just looking at it like I bought an engine and all this came for free. So I hope you all do want to like just follow us on this new journey. Like I say, second chance, new start, see what we can make of it. I would love to have kept the seat out my Type R, because it can cost me like 1,500 quid for another one of them. Even as a tape player, I'd rip that out straight away, just a whole unit and throw it in the bin. But my wife likes the music in the car. It's had all the interior bits and bobs like carbon wrapped around the dials and the door cards and stuff. This big ugly UFO spoiler, that can go. Ugh, That is disgusting. Honestly, it's like being chased by something out of Trek Wars. That's the view through my rear view mirror. It's disgusting. Snazzy pedals, swanky door trims. Can't hear no airflow whatsoever, like being sucked in. So I'll have to address that, and I have an idea. So there it is now, it's warm. So I'll let the engine cool down, see if it squishes itself back in. And as for airflow, for now, I'm just going to rip this out. Really, when it's coming up to spool, I should be getting like a coming through the induction kit, but there's nothing. You can hear it flutter off like a little bit, and then the blow-off valve's working efficiently, as I say. Not happy about the standard air intake setup, because I've now blocked it off, and it's to rely on air feed just coming under there. So by removing that reflector down here, should draw in some air, which can then squeeze through these little gaps here and keep that a little bit cooler. I will order some vents for that spot. You can replace the reflectors and put in little light vents which divert the air. So we'll get some of them and drop them in as well. Airflow. You can see the light. I've just literally dropped my little girl off at my auntie's. It's only 2 minutes up street. Brought a little bit of temperature up. Car's cooled back down and the pipe hasn't sucked back in. But last minute, me and the wife have decided to go to a driving range, whack some golf balls. So I've removed the reflector and replaced the radiator cap. Should be running a little bit more efficient. I'll see if I can't get any noise. You should be able to hear a whoosh now coming through the air filter. And then I'm going to have to come back in the morning and let the engine fully cool down, because I'll be going to bed and just make sure there's no leaks and it's still ballooned and not gone. Maybe one's like a super whacker and the other's just a whacker one. I don't know. It's alright, isn't it? Total new. Whoa, look at it go for miles. Look at it, tell you on here. That's a crazy fast golf ball. Like 230 yards at 125 mile an hour. Woo! Meow.
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
Last one. I'll pop a fluff this time, won't I?
Get your name.
The next morning.
Thought I'd check the radiator cap. Voila! And it's held pressure again. It's like a bit of a top tip there, really. If your rad pipe's sagging, check your radiator cap.